Yes, welcome everyone to game week number 3 of my Premier League predictions. I wouldn't say I did too bad last week. If you did watch last week's video, thank you very much indeed. You saw all my lovely predictions I had going on there. Now, I'm just going to quickly run through what I got last week, and then I'll go through the point system as well that I'm trying to keep a track of myself throughout the whole season. And I'll see how many points I get at the end of the season for you. So, here is all the scores that happened, the final scores from each game of game week number 2, and then next to them we do have my score, my predictions. So starting off with Brighton versus Man U, the final score was 2-1, and I predicted 2-1, smashed it straight away, boom, 100% right now. Then we had Tottenham versus Everton, was 4-0 to Tottenham, and I said 2-1 to Everton. Quickly move on, ignore that one. Then we had Southampton Nottingham Forest, was 1-0 to Forest, I said 2-1 to Forest, that's the correct result there. When we had Man City Ipswich was 4-1 in the end, I said 5-0. Not too bad, pretty close. Another correct result. Then Fulham Leicester was 2-1 the final score. I said 1-0 to Leicester. Don't talk about it. That's another incorrect. Then we had Crystal Palace. West Ham was 2-0 to West Ham. I said a 1-1 draw. That was close. Then we had Villa Arsenal, 2-0 to Arsenal. Should have been 3-0 to Villa. I said 2-1. Another incorrect one there. Bournemouth Newcastle 1-1. I said 2-0. And then Wolves Chelsea was 6-2 in the end. I said 1-0 to Wolves. And then finally we had Liverpool 2, Brentford 0. I said 3-0 to Liverpool. Pretty close. Another correct result. So that does mean that all in all I did get 1 correct score. And I also got 3 correct results, with 6 of the games I got completely wrong. Now, I'm giving myself 1 point for a correct result. So if I get the win, loss or draw, right? Or the win or draw. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I'm giving myself 1 point for that. So I've got 3 points for that. And then I'm giving myself 4 points if I get a correct score. So I got 1, which altogether makes 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 7, I was right. So I'm on 7 points from game week number 2. Now, if you're just watching this and wondering why I'm not talking about game week 1, I forgot to do that one. I only decided to do this last week, so I missed game week 1. That's how it is. So, we're on 7 points to start off my season. But, we're not talking about last week anymore. Well, I will talk about last week quite a bit probably in this video. We're now moving on to game week number 3. So let's see what games we got coming up and what I think the scores are going to be. Let's get into it. Over to other me. Arsenal versus Brighton. Now, this is the story of a great defense versus a free-flowing attack at the moment. Now, I've been seeing loads of posts, mostly on Facebook, about how amazing Saliba was against Aston Villa. And I mean, you're kind of ignoring the whole point where Morgan Rogers just made him look like he was stood still like an old man for like half the game. I think you're forgetting about those bits. But anyway, he is a very good defender, and Arsenal have the best defense in the league. But you're coming up against a Brighton team who have scored 5 goals in 2 games. Only City have done better with 6 goals, and they played Ipswich. So it's going to be a good game, and I reckon it's going to be a 5-goal thriller with Arsenal coming out on top. I think Arsenal are going to win 3-2. Brentford versus Southampton. I can't think of a more boring game to watch this season. I feel so sorry if you're these fans, because you've not had much to cheer for so far. It's not going to change. Right now, I'm quite glad there's a 3 PM blackout, because you don't want to be watching this. So, unfortunately, Southampton, you're still going to have to wait for your team to score their first goal of the season. It's going to be 0-0. Everton versus Bournemouth. What the hell has happened to a Sean Dyche defence? Like, last season and towards the end of the season before, Everton's defence were just as good as Arsenal's, in my opinion. Like, they were solid. But right now, Everton, you've got more leaks in your defence than Old Trafford does in the ceiling. Like, what's happening? What's going on? I feel like Sean Dyche, your days are numbered, unfortunately. With that being said, I think it's a comfortable win for Bournemouth. So Bournemouth, I've got you having a 3-1 win over Everton. Ipswich versus Fulham. Ipswich, you gave the whole of the Premier League hope for 5 minutes. 5 minutes? You couldn't even last at least 10, putting us all into thinking that we were going to have this amazing shock result. You couldn't do that, no? No, instead you just let Haaland roll you over and give your tummy a little tickle. What's that about? Come on. As for Fulham, I did say in my last predictions video that I don't see where the goals are coming from. You proved me wrong. You scored 1, 2. You scored 2 goals, didn't you? 2-1, I believe. And, you know, I think you get a few more this time as well. So I'm going for a 2-0 win to Fulham. Leicester versus Aston Villa. Ollie. What's happening to you, mate? You've gone from being an England hero at the Euros to missing 2 absolute sitters. I mean, the first chance, I will admit, a little bit trickier, but still, you had a whole half of the goal to aim for. And you put it wide. How? And the second chance, yes, I will admit, it was a good save from Raya. But you You shouldn't have given him a bloody chance. You should have stuck that in the far corner. I mean, I don't know why I'm acting like this is the easiest thing in the world. I couldn't jump for a pizza, let alone a football. I now have a cat. Say hi, Simba. Hi. But, Ollie, I'm backing you this time. You're going to get a hat-trick this time out. I can see it coming. Ollie Watkins' hat-trick is going to be 3-0 to Aston Villa. Meow. Nottingham Forest versus Wolverhampton. Why did I say it like that? I'm going to say Wolves. Wolverhampton. I'm losing it. It may have only been a 1-0 win for Forest in their last game, but it was a pretty comfortable win from what I saw. And I called it my boy, Morgie Gibbs-White. He may have not got a couple of goals, but he did get one for my fantasy team. Come on, son. Keep it going, my lad. My lad, my love, my lid. I don't know what's happening. And Wolves, I know you're better than a 6-2 defeat against mid-table Chelsea. So I think you're going to have a little bounce back on this one. Not a big one. Don't get too excited. I did say I think you're going to get draw after draw. And here's your first draw. I'm going with a 2-2. West Ham versus Manchester City. City are going to be invincible this season. I am telling you right now, they are not going to lose a single game. And then at the end of the season, they're going to get relegated by the 115. That's what's going to happen. I'm so confident the City aren't going to lose a game this whole season. I'm going to say if City lose more than one game, because I want to give myself a little bit of a chance. So if they lose more than one game, I will buy a Birmingham City shirt with I Love Blues on the back. I'll absolutely hate that. I need to burn my skin. No, don't do that. That sounds weird. City, please don't lose now. I really don't want to do that. I'll be shunned from the Aston Villa community. So with that being said, I'm backing them in this game now, and every game in the season to come, I'm going for Man City 3, West Ham 1, Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. Okay, yes, in my last predictions video, if you did watch it, I mean, you probably didn't, only 17 people did, but I did say that Chelsea were going to lose 1-0 to Wolves. No, they wouldn't beat Wolves 6-2, but come on, who was going to ever predict that? Let me know if you predicted that, and I'm telling you right now, you're a liar. You didn't predict that. Never. Never in a million years. And I do have to admit, Man Wakey posting on his socials that Wolverhampton was a shithole. And I mean, it's near Birmingham, it's in the Midlands. He's probably not wrong. And then going on and scoring a hat-trick against them is comedy gold, I will admit that. So, there's positives and everything, but sorry Chelsea fans, it's not happening again. You are not going to score more than 3 goals in the game for the rest of the season, I'm telling you now. Alright, and if you do score more than 3 goals in a single season, I will stand outside with an ice bucket chucked over me whilst kissing a picture of João Felix. If you score more than 3 goals. It's not going to happen. Please don't happen. I don't want to do that. Weird. So, I reckon this game is going to go back to normality, and Palace need a point on the board, so we're going with a 1-1 draw. Newcastle versus Tottenham Hotspur. Or should we call them VAR Castle? I think after this weekend, the Premier League need to be going to the PGMOL bank account and looking for those payments from the Saudi League to make sure Newcastle stay alright, because Christ alive, that was shocking. Like, how could you have a goal ruled out for handball when it literally comes off the shoulder? And I can see people going, no, it was his arm, it's the rule. That's your shoulder. How is that handball? Your hand's down here, and your shoulder's up here. Hand, shoulder. There's a big difference. Has anyone never seen head, shoulders, knees, and toes? And then, just to top it off, Joe Linton just decides to become prime Triple H and just give a massive clothesline to what's it called? Neto. And then just runs off like, I got away with it. And then they get a red card from the Bournemouth bench. So a literal decapitation is not a red card, but just having a different opinion on what the ref wants is a red card. Make it make sense. Oh yeah, and then let's talk about Spurs. They had a very comfortable win against a dreadful Everton, a nice 4-0. I can see them keep going in that winning way. They're really purring right now. So we're going with a 2-1 win to Spurs. Let's get Liverpool. Last game of the weekend again. We've got Man United versus Liverpool. There's not much to say here. Man U is still crap, and Liverpool are still really good. So I don't really see any sort of change, and I'm definitely going with Liverpool are going to get to the international break without conceding a single goal. So we're going to have a 2-0 win to Liverpool. So there you have it. There's my predictions for game week number 3 of the Premier League. Let me know how you think I did down in the comments. Give me your predictions as well, and don't forget to join me once again next week for game week 4 predictions. But thank you everyone. I'm up to 72 subscribers now, which I'm very, very proud of. I'm trying to get to 100, so don't forget, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like as well, and that's it. Have a lovely day, you lovely people. I've been Nathan Sanford. You've been watching Little Sinners. I'll see you in a bit.